Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, for watching this video. What we do here, we explore the Word of God. We pay attention to the Word of God. And if this is your first time tuning in, you're welcome. Come join our community where we learn about the Word of God. Do not forget to like the video, put your comment below, and subscribe, because we just want to make this a community. We want to keep up and learn from each other from this. It's not just going to be me talking, but I also want to hear your views from the channel. Do not be scared to voice out that which God has laid unto your heart. So what we are learning about today is that what do you do when you do not know what to do? And do you do nothing? Do you do absolutely nothing? When you are faced with a situation where you do not know what to do, or when you are in a situation where you have done all that you can to do or to make things work and nothing seems to be working, what do you do when you don't know what to do? That is a point where you are powerless. You do not have strength anymore. You do not have any means. You run out of ideas. What do you do in that situation? Do you run to your friend, to your family? Do you run to someone who perhaps may know what to do amongst your peers? What do you do? Do you just leave it as such and just accept that this is just the way life it is? Today, I just want to encourage you using the Word of God to say, there is God who knows what to do when you do not know what to do, and is always ready to listen to you and to help you in that regard. The Word of God in the book of Isaiah 14, verse 29, it reads that He gives power to the weak, and those who have no might, He increases their strength. So right there, the Word of God is teaching us that when you are weak, there's someone that gives power, and that is God. You may not be able to obtain such kind of relief when you run to your peers, when you run to certain things that you know have got knowledge and power. But when you go to God and say, God, I'm weak, He gives you strength. He gives might. He increases your strength. There is a point in life where you are weak, but the good part about that is that you are not dead. The Word of God in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 4, it talks about the fact that there is a hope for a living, and that a living dog is better than a dead lion. So for the fact that you are weak and you are alive, you are important. Just know that for the fact that you are alive, that just means that there's hope there. So that doesn't mean that you are done, you are complete. There's nothing else that you can do. For the fact that you are still alive, it means something can still be done. I know there's a situation where you feel like you are hurting, but you are alive. Let's look at the story of Paul in the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 5 to 9. Paul is saying here that therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my life, a messenger from Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, Paul is saying, because I know about this now, therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. So Paul understands the Word of God that we just started reading in the book of Isaiah chapter 40, 29, that He gives strength to those that are weak. He gives power to the weak. He increases might. He gives might and increase the power to those that are weak. And that is what Paul is boasting on. So when you do not know what to do, do you just do nothing? No, Paul is starting by just boasting about it, that I know that I'm weak. I know that I'm hurting. I know I've got this thorn in my feet, and I've pleaded with the Lord 3 times. And even though I pleaded with the Lord 3 times, I know that that doesn't have to stop me, because God answered me and said, do not worry, Paul. My grace is sufficient for you. So in your pain, in your hurting, in your weaknesses, God is saying, my grace is sufficient for you. There is no need to commit suicide. There is no need to write off yourself. There's no need to look down upon yourself or reject yourself. There's no need to feel self-pity. That is the moment where you need to boast and accept that I am weak, but there's someone that is strong in my weaknesses. There's someone whom, when I'm weak, he makes me strong. And that is why you are very, very much important, child of God. When you think there's nothing, this is just about your thought. Remember that there's someone whose thoughts are higher than your thoughts. So do not even limit yourself in that regard, because there's a source that is ready to give you strength in that regard. So I don't have, sometimes you feel like, Lord, I am weak and I don't even have anyone to help me fight these battles that I'm facing. Lord, can't you see that I'm weak? Can't you just see that I'm out, I'm down? And I think in this moment we can learn from Jesus. And why am I saying we should learn from Jesus? This is because there are some instances that are just gonna wait for you to be weak. They're just gonna wait for your flesh to be down and out. There are some situations that are going to wait for you to be admitted in that hospital bed. There is some situations that are going to just wait for you to be in that state where you are weak. Then they will attack. Let's look at the book of Matthew chapter 4, where Jesus Christ was fasting for 40 days. And immediately after he is done fasting, now on his weakest point, where his flesh is weak, now the devil is attacking. But in this regard, we know that the fasting that he was doing in prayer, he was edifying his spirit. His spirit was not weak, but his body was. And here the devil is tempting him with food. He's attacking him. He's fighting him with food because he knows that he is hungry. So there's an instant in your life where you will be weak. And the situations are not going to look at the fact that you are weak. They are going to come and attack you. And when they do, is your spirit stable? Is your spirit fine to fight the battle, to conquer this battle? Because Jesus here conquered the temptations, or rather the challenges he was facing when he was weak. And he conquered all of them because his spirit was not weak. So you will be weak in your flesh, but do not allow your spirit to be weak. Do not allow your inner man to be weak. This is what I want you to learn, children of God, that when you do not know what to do, when your physical being, when your brains has run out, there's always the Spirit of God that lives within you, that will help you regenerate the power, so that you can be able to be in motion even in your weakness. Like Paul was in motion even with a thorn on his feet. He kept on evangelizing until he got to Rome. So, children of God, you are going to be weak. You are going to be weak. And when you are weak, remember that he gives strength to those that are weak. He gives power to the weak. And those who have no might, he increases their strength. So when you do not know what to do not do nothing. Go to the source in prayer, and he will strengthen all your weaknesses. So do not allow yourself to be defeated because you feel that you are weak. Do not give in. Remember, a living dog is better than a dead lion. Blessings.